Hey, this is Joe from SoFi, and in this video, we are going to export WooCommerce orders to Google Sheets using WP All Export. So to get started, we'll go down here to All Export and select New Export. And then from the pull down, we'll select WooCommerce orders. And then over here, we have some filtering options. If we wanted to export just a subset of these 5,000 orders, we could filter by, for example, order date, order data, customer information like the state where the order was made from, things like that. Check out our documentation at wpallimport.com or our YouTube channel. We have videos on how filters work. So in this case, we're just going to click Customize Export File. And then over here, this is going to be our export. And then over here on the right, this is the available data that we can drag and drop to create our export. So for example, if I wanted to put in the order date, I just drag and drop like that. Then I can click, drag it, and move it over. Preview. And then you can see here, I have my order date. So let's clean this up a little bit. You remove this. There we go. And I'm just going to drag over some information from my order. So I have my order total. We'll put in our customer information over here, like our billing first name and billing last name. And let's check that out. Okay, that looks good. But let's do this. Let's combine these into one field. So we just have one name field. So I'm going to remove these. We'll go to Add Field. And then here we can search to add more fields. So for example, I can search and I can see my name information over here, or I can look at my product information, etc. In this case, we're going to select Custom Export Field. We'll name this column Name. We'll go over here to our customer. We'll drag in our first name, space, and our last name. And that's going to make one column that has the first name and the last name in it. We'll save, preview, and there we go. Now here on the right, we have all of our order information that we can drag and drop. We have our order data, we have our customer data, then we have the item information like the product ID, SKU, item cost, more product data, sale and price information, product taxonomies, custom fields, attributes, like size and color, etc. And then we have our fees and discounts, notes, refunds, custom fields for the order, any ACF fields if we have ACF installed on the site. So really everything is over here. And if you can't really find it, you can go over here and you can search. All right. So let's continue. Down here, we have some options for our CSV. Check out our YouTube channel. We have some more videos on creating WooCommerce order exports in a little bit more depth. In this case, we're just going to showcase getting order data into Google Sheets. So we'll leave these for now. And then down here, we have some more spreadsheet options like Excel and XLS and XML options over here if we needed to export our order data to XML. Again, you can check out our documentation and our videos. We have a lot more information on that. Okay, so I've set up my export, pretty simple, and I'm going to continue. Okay, and then over here I have some scheduling options. So for example, if I wanted to run this export every Monday at midnight, that's all I need to do. But in this case, what we're going to do is we are going to export each WooCommerce order in real time as they are completed. So every time I get a WooCommerce order, it's going to add that order data to my Google Sheet. Okay, so that's all I need to select. And then we're going to confirm and run the export. Now this is just going to export one order as a test order, and we can just see our data and make sure it's formatted correctly. So let's download that and open it up and check it out. Okay, and there we go. So let's go back over here and let's create a spreadsheet. So this is going to have order ID, order date, order total, and their name, right? Let's call this order sheet. And so these columns over here, they match the columns from my export. Okay, so now what we're going to do is go into Zapier. So Zapier is what's going to allow us to connect WP All Export to Google Sheets. And to get started, we'll go over here to Create Zap. They call it a zap. It's basically just a trigger and then a collection of actions. So in this case, we're going to set our trigger to be WP All Export. So we'll search for WP All Export over here, select it. Okay. And then we're going to select for our event, real-time export completed. We'll continue. And now we need to connect WP All Export. So we're going to sign in. And we're going to go back over here. So it needs our API key and our website URL. So we can find that over here in All Export settings. I'm going to take my Zapier integration API key. I'm going to copy that, put it here. And then I'm going to take my site URL up here, copy that, and we'll paste it in. Yes, continue to WP All Export Pro. Okay. And we're done. So now we continue. Now we're going to select the export that we just created. Order export. And we'll continue. Now it's going to test it. And there we go. This is our order data from the order that we just created. Okay, so we'll continue with our selected record. And now we need an action. So our action is going to be Google Sheets. Let's select it there. And really, like, Zapier has a ton of integrations. I think over like 1,500 of these. So you can integrate it with Google Sheets, Dropbox, email, and tons of other apps. Very, very, very useful service. Highly recommend you check it out. Okay, so next up over here, we have our event. So our event, what are we going to do after an order is created in WP All Export? So we are going to create a spreadsheet row. We'll continue. And now we need to link it to our Google account. So we'll go over here, connect a new account. We'll select mine over here and allow. Okay, so we've selected our Google account and we'll continue. And now this is where the kind of magic happens. This is our action. So we're going to select Google Drive, and now we're going to go find the order sheet that we just created in Google Sheets. It should be right here. There we go. Order sheet. And the worksheet is just going to be sheet 1. There we are. And then these are all of the column headers from my file that have been automatically detected. So now what we do is we click in here, and then this is all of the information from my export, right? So order ID. So let's select our order ID, and that is right here. Order date, and we can search in here. Order date. Perfect. Order total. Right there. And name. Perfect. Okay, we'll continue. And then we can click the test button, and this is going to insert a row for the order that we created earlier. We can click the test button over here. And what this is going to do is it's going to create a row based on the test export that we just ran. So let's see how that went. Perfect. There we go. All right. So we'll go over here back to Zapier. Let me change this. Orders. We'll call this update order sheet. That's the name of my Zap. And it's all set up. So we'll go ahead and publish. Okay, and we can see that it's on over here. So now with these settings, every time that we get a new order on my site, this export's going to run, and then it's going to fire this Zap, and that Zap is going to add the data over here into Google Sheets. So let's give it a quick test. Let me go over here to my orders and let me create a new order. I'm going to add an order. And we're going to set this status as completed, because if it's not completed, the export's not going to run, right? It only runs when an order is completed. So now we'll find a customer over here. Alexa Shepherd. Okay, and let's have Alexia purchase something. They're going to get a shirt. And we'll create our order. So if we go over here to WP All Export, the Manage Exports page. So you can see over here that the order was completed and the export ran. And then up here, I have my order sheet. So let's go ahead and we'll click inside. And you can see here is the latest data for my latest order. So again, we have a lot more documentation on all the different things you can do with Zapier. We have a lot more documentation and videos on how to set up order exports and all of the different features for WPL export. But that about does it for this quick demo. And that is all it takes to export WooCommerce orders to Google Sheets using WP All Export. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.